Hi there, welcome back for your math workshop for today. So you may notice that there's a little bit of music in the background. Our neighbors are having a little bit of fun, but hey, it's New York. We'll just keep going as is. All right. So we're going to be working on a new unit starting today. So we're going to be working with fractions and fair shares. So one reason that we might split up a fraction or use a fraction to represent something is when we're trying to split something equally. So for example, say I have a brownie and I want to split it into two equal parts so that I can share it with someone else. Let's pretend like this is our brownie here, this rectangle. If I were going to split this up equally, where might I draw a line or cut with my knife in order to make sure that we each get an equal piece of the brownie? So I want you to think about how many different ways we could draw a line or split this brownie up in order to create two equal pieces. So one way, we could just draw a line straight down the center. We have equal parts that way. We might also draw a line that way. Is that also equal, even though these shapes look a little bit differently? And the last way that I'm thinking of to do this, I'm actually reminded of when I was a little girl and my mom used to create sandwiches or put together sandwiches for my lunches. She used to always cut my sandwiches like this, and I hated it. I really wanted her to cut it into triangles because I thought it was so much cooler to have sandwiches in triangles. So I wonder, if I were to draw a line like so, like the way I wish my mom had always cut my sandwiches, would I still have two equal halves there? Even though this shape is different from these, does that still mean it's two equal halves? Yes, absolutely. Okay, so now that we have cut this brownie up into two equal halves, let's look at this one. Say this is my half. Would you agree that this is equal to that one? So what portion would you say I have? How much would you say of this brownie do I have? I have one half, right? I have one half. So if I were going to represent this with a fraction notation, how could I represent this one half? Yes, I could say 1 over 2, or 1 half. So if I'm writing this fraction notation, what does the 2 represent? Or what does the 2 mean in this fraction? It means that there are two parts here, two equal parts in this brownie. What about the 1? What does that represent? Yeah, it means there's 1 out of 2 equal parts. So we're talking about this one piece out of 2 equal parts. Okay, so let's try a different one. So say I have this, well, that's a giant brownie. Say I have this big brownie here. I want to separate it into 4 equal parts because I want to share it with 3 other friends of mine. So I could first separate it in half and then half again. Now, I mean, that's meant to be equal. Would you say that these are 4 equal parts then? Yeah. So say this is this one right here. This one is my portion of the brownie. What portion of the brownie do I now have? I have 1/4, right? So I have 1/4. And how would you represent 1/4 with a fraction notation? Yeah, I'd say 1 over 4, or 1/4. And so remind me again what this 4 represents in our fraction? Represents the 4 equal parts of our brownie, and the 1 is equal to that 1 out of 4 equal parts. So just as a reminder too, if we're looking at our fractions, the top number in a fraction is called a numerator. So the top number, if we're looking at 1/2, that is our numerator. And the bottom number here is called the denominator. I like to remember denominator by remembering the D. It's a little mnemonic device or a trick device denominator down below the line. So denominator is the number that is down below the line. Okay, so you're going to be working on a worksheet today where you're going to be practicing splitting things up equally. So you're going to make sure that you're writing a fraction notation for each one to show how many equal parts that are, what portion of the equal part that person has. So you're going to be working with separating brownie into different amounts. So there are going to be different people sharing that brownie. Make sure everybody has an equal portion. You're writing a fraction to represent it. I can't wait to see what you've worked on. Good luck and have a good day.